There appears to be two strands to this reconvened hearing of the McGrail Inquiry. On the one hand, senior police officers are being asked about WhatsApp exchanges between them which weren't disclosed to the inquiry team until after the main hearing last year. But the inquiry also wants to know about gaps in the evidence, WhatsApps which may have been wiped, and if so, why? In his opening address, the counsel to the inquiry, Julian Santos, said the officers involved in Operation Delhi would have to explain why there are no WhatsApp messages between former Commissioner Ian McGrail and lead investigator Superintendent Paul Richardson on critical dates. Mr. Santos said there were no messages on work or personal phones between the 30th of April and 22nd of May, a critical time during which the search warrant on James Levy KC was meant to have been executed.
Would you accept that the RGP has been unable to disclose a large amount of material that was potentially relevant to the inquiry because it has either been deleted or lost?
No, I don't, because we've disclosed what we have when we have been able to obtain it and when we have been requested for it. So we just cannot disclose what we do not have. To say that we have lost material is to speculate about whether that material existed in the first place. So no, I'm not sure I can accept that. I understand why you say it, but I don't accept it.
Well, for example, there is the message between Mr. Richardson and Mr. McGrail on the 12th of May, which has never been located, despite being referred to by both individuals in their evidence. Would you accept that that has been lost?
Assuming that their evidence is correct and it was indeed sent as they did, yes.
Mr. Yates repeated time and again that most communications were carried out either in person, on email, or on the phone, and evidence showed his WhatsApp communications with Mr. McGrail were usually outside office hours. Mr. Yates was asked about the senior management WhatsApp group, but said he had no specific recollection about the frequency or content of the messages. In answers to questions from Mr. McGrail's lawyer, Adam Wagner, Mr. Yates said he felt lonely and vulnerable when he learnt about the possibility that Mr. McGrail might be leaving the force.
I didn't know what was happening, really, other than what we were being told by Mr. McGrail. So we felt vulnerable because we couldn't turn to anybody. The natural institutional pillars, if you like, that we would have turned to, the governor, chief minister, or the GPA, were all aligned as far as I understood it.
During the afternoon session, the lawyer for the government parties, Sir Peter Caruana, probed the current commissioner, Richard Ullger, on the police's handling of evidence before the inquiry.
And/or has lost access to WhatsApps on changes to new phones, yes?
Yes.
Wiped off all data from Mr. McGrail's laptop, yes?
I'm not too sure whether we wiped off data from Mr. McGrail. I wouldn't know personally, no.
Okay. Lost the desktop computer, or at least not found it. Yes?
I wouldn't be able to answer that because I personally don't know.
Caused WhatsApps on Mr. McGrail's personal phone to be lost to him anyway, not to Mr. McVeigh, fortunately. And lost his daybooks. In this instance, do you think that the RGP has lived up to the standards to be expected of it in the careful preservation of potentially important information?
I still think we have, yes, Sir Peter.
Despite the litany that I've just read to you?
Yes.
Mr. Ullger was taken through a number of WhatsApps between senior officers. He was probed about WhatsApps which suggested the senior management team was becoming aware of the possibility of Mr. McGrail leaving the force.
Mate, hate seeing you like this. Let's not talk about you leaving, but just the things that we can start to turn things round for us. You have our full support and wouldn't want it any other way. You have been inspirational these past few months, and that says a lot for you as an individual. Be strong, mate. Big hugs. Why did you say, let's not talk about you leaving?
I think Mr. McGrail found that he no longer had the confidence of the Chief Minister, of the Governor at the time, the Attorney General, and the police authority. So I think Mr. Yates alluded it to earlier as well. You know, he'd lost the four pillars that we would go to for support. He didn't have none of that. And the most obvious and probably the easiest way would be for him to leave the RGP. But most important to Mr. McGrail was obviously that he would leave with his head high and that he wouldn't lose any of his pension benefits.
The final questions of the afternoon fell to Patrick Gibbs Casey, who asked about the significance of WhatsApps in police investigations.
Which was the most significant source? Was it the meetings, the minutes, the emails, the attachments to the emails, the case files?
All of those, sir.
And where in that spectrum of significance did the WhatsApps on the investigating officers' mobile telephones lie?
Very little significance, sir.
At the bottom?
Very.
The inquiry continues to hear evidence tomorrow from former Superintendent Paul Richardson, who was the lead on Operation Delhi, and also from Mr. McGrail himself.